Rick, look, for the fact that I was actually trying there and did that's pretty embarrassing. But we see a lot of players from this distance on what perceives or looks to be an easy shot.
Right.
Sometimes do that.
Yeah, it's interesting. When we look at focus, because obviously I'm a mental game coach too, is that your ability is going to be related to what you're focusing on. And you just mentioned like, it's an easy shot. And sometimes that we put the dimmer switch down of our intensity of focus.
Yep.
We don't really have a clear target. We don't even have a clear motion. We just take it for granted.
Yeah.
That's the worst space to be, is we're bored. We're like, It's like, wait a second. We have to get back to putting some urgency to the shot.
Yeah.
I know our expectations would say it's easy, fine, but it doesn't mean you change your routine with it. I think this is one of those opportunities where we do get a little more precise with what we want. We want to encourage a little bit more of a narrow focus, a little more creativity. Yep. So you and I both know we could do multiple shots here. We could maybe putt it. This is a little bit thick Kikuya, probably not the best shot.
Yep.
You could putt it. You might even put a little wedge in the back of your stance, hit a little bump and run, a 54, 58. There's a lot of options. So we have to get back to problem solving. What's the best shot for here? Then can we see that shot? Can we go, okay, is it going to go low spin or is it going to go high soft? I don't care which shot you play, but you better be very, very clear on what you want.
Yeah.
Then you tell your body, okay, this is how I want you to do it. So I usually use visualization first, practice swing second, to make it kind of a concrete commitment to this.
Yeah, and so, we see that throughout a round. We get such a variety of golf shots.
Yes.
And let's say I'm on like the 4th or 5th hole and I'm trying to build momentum for the round, and I've missed a couple of fairways and I've pulled off some good shots, and then we get to a shot like this, and I see it far too often with my students, and then they take the gas off and they go, okay, this seems like a pretty easy shot. I know I can pull this one off. And then before you know it, they do something, which they go, I've spent my whole life playing golf. How did I just hit a shot that a new golfer would hit?
Yeah, because even though when we're reacting, we're a little bit unconscious, that seems like a good thing. I'm not thinking. It's, are you unconscious 20 seconds before it?
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
We go from, this is what's happening, this is what I want to do. We want to create an intention with it. And part of intention is, let's challenge ourselves. Okay, let's get this sucker within 2 feet. How I'm going to do it? I'm going to hit a mid trajectory. It's going to go 15 feet in the air, 6 feet to the left. It's going to take 2 hops and get very specific with the intention.
Yep.
Use visualization, use practice swing to now narrow it down to, this is what I'm going to do. So you have to urgency, challenge yourself, imagination, creativity. Now will raise that focus intensity for you.
Okay, so actionable advice for the players at home. They're faced with a relatively simple chip shot, a little bit of carry and then roll out. We want to get this nice and close, if not hold it.
Sure.
What should we do?
Yeah, there's a fun little exercise I'd like you to do. We're going to do a tossing the ball underhanded. Okay. And so we're just going to grab this here, and you're going to face it as if you're going to hit it. Now, you're already picturing what you want, and you're reacting to that. And it's almost like you're playing catch with me. Like, where would that intermediate target be? So where would you want me to go?
Pretty close to
right
there,
in there.
I think. A little bit of left to right.
You
there.
got
I
it.
think it's good.
So you're going to play catch with me here. Boom. Okay. Now, through that, you're reacting to a target. Next phase is what I have people do is go from here and then use that club and pretend that the club head is now your right hand.
Okay.
And now I'm throwing it still to that same target. Okay.
So still same feel, a couple of practice swings before.
Of course, yeah. But now that club becomes your right hand and you're tossing it now to the target. So we've taken the visual, we've taken a feel, and now we're mixing it in with that. Beautiful, beautiful.
So often when players are working on drills, for example, in their swing, they're like, oh, fair and well, like I can do this on the range, but how do I do that on the course?
Correct. And I think it's about, again, making it a simple movement and a simple swing thought. But what we did with the right hand only was being reactionary to an intermediate target. So I wanted us to catch our visualization of how's that ball gonna, the trajectory, how's it gonna land, right? We're focusing on target. This was a challenging drill, right? Just right hand only of feeling like this motion is gonna go towards that intermediate target. And now what we're doing is we're going back into normal setup, right? We're probably going to have, the ball mid to back, depending on how low you want to hit it. We have probably weight a little bit on the left side. Those are the simple setup things. But what I want encourage here is that we said this is supposed to be an easy shot, but we're turning it into, well, if it's easy, I still need to be very precise.
Yeah.
And so this is where I do practice swings where I actually look at my intermediate target while I'm doing it. So I'm feeling as I see it to bring those two together.
Yeah.
So that would be how I want to bring it together here is I'm looking at that target while I present it. Now, I know that we want to feel the ground, but I want somebody to be more here.
Yeah.
I find that when they hit behind it, they're so ball driven, they forget where they're going.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's feel that again with the practice swing as if we're throwing it again, throwing it, and now throwing it.
Yeah. And I think if we look at the easy wins, kind of the number one thing that players would get stuck over here is maybe if they were nervous over this shot, like we talked about in the previous video, is more so not stuffing up, right? Rather than looking at what we actually want to achieve. And in this case, it would be getting our ball to land somewhere close to where we just rehearsed there. So if we just bring our minds to that point, more than likely we're going to hit a better shot than focusing on not what to do.
100%. So let's put that together.
So I had the feel and the flow with the right hand only. Now from here, I'm just blending that together with two hands. Let's see if I can beat my one-hander.
Okay, but very similar, right?
Yeah.
Similar result, similar where you landed it, and more importantly, you went through it with some conviction, right? Yeah. We saw before, it's like, right, and I'm not fully focused on what we want. So it's a lot about intention, it's creating a visualization and creativity, and then ultimately we're putting a feel with it to be able to match it all together.
Yeah, and look, that ball launched a little bit lower than I liked, and that's why it ran on. Club did get stuck a little bit in the ground, but by going through that process, I had a better chance than not of at least executing it how I wanted to.
100%.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching this video. YouTube thinks that you would benefit from watching this one next. So click that card and it could be the tip that you need to take your game to the next level. I'll see you next time.